I'm gonna say that Metroid Prime as a series has technically ended, but I think Retro wants to make a new series, but it's basically going to be Prime, but just a different
Oh, this is
series.
interesting. They had some canceled projects,
They have.
which were Action Adventure, working title, NFL Retro Football, Car Combat / Thunder Rally, and Raven Blade. Also, there was a pitch for a Metroid 1.5, which had an entire design document and some concept art to go with it. But some of those ideas eventually kind of boiled over into what became Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Although the concept art for the Metroid 1.5 pitch was really interesting, and the whole premise was really... It's interesting, but I feel like Metroid Prime 2 is a better follow-up than what was planned in 1.5. Although 1.5 as the concept was still pretty solid.
Well, I'm not going to say anything about any of the Prime games. I mean, you know, the attention to every area is shown.
Yeah, well,
Nothing.
Every game has its problems. It's just
yeah.
some are less apparent than others. Like Metroid Prime, for the most part, doesn't have many issues.
No. And you know, the issues that it does have, like the loading times, I mean, that's just the hardware.
Yeah.
That's not actually the game itself.
And I mean,
You know-
with how
you
much
know-
it's got to load in, it's kind of justifiable.
Well, like, you know, in today's games, if you have something that takes a long time to load, there's really no excuse anymore because our hardware has developed so much.
And usually there's a lot of programming things, like, because I'm taking game design as a major in college, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I do know a thing or two before I went in.
And I'm in
And there are
computer
multiple
audio
ways.
and video
And
major.
the thing is, like, there are a bunch of ways you can hide load times. Like, God of War is a fantastic example, because, like, ever wonder why there's so many spiral staircases in those games? Those are load times. But the thing is, because you're still in control, it doesn't feel like a load time.
No.
Yeah, you'll think, yeah, this is kind of a really long staircase.
To be honest, it doesn't feel like, you know, it's bad for this game either because, you know, it's like...
You get kind of a breather.
Yeah,
Especially with load screens like the elevator.
because, you know, this game is really intense. You have to... I mean, I'm going to be honest. The only reason why it looks like I'm breezing through this game
He knows what he's doing.
is because I've played it so many times. If I say... You're going to see a Metroid Prime 2 that I'm going to be a little confused here and there. Not very often are you going to see me surprised, but you are going to see me think, okay, where was this or where was that? When it comes to this game, it's just like, oh, I know where it is. Good. Actually, fuck that. We're going to get out of the Space Pirate facility because Cole needs to see the 3D Metroid.
Yes, I do. Oh, by the way, Retro was founded in 1998 as an alliance between Nintendo and former Iguana Entertainment founder Jeff Spangenberg, I think is how it's pronounced. Spangenberg.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I don't think you're butchering the name.
Yeah, I hope I'm not butchering your name.
If we are, we apologize.
Yeah, apparently it was created hoping to create titles for the then upcoming GameCube aiming at an older demographic. Metroid Prime.
Eh? I
The
do
company
not.
began working on 4
I'm gonna
different
be honest,
titles,
I
all of
didn't-
which were finally canceled once Retro focused the resources on Metroid Prime. So those 4 canceled games were in before Metroid Prime was solidified as the project for the GameCube.
Yep. Well, it's because I think they loved their other projects, but once they saw what they could do with Metroid, they're like,
Well, Metroid hadn't had a game since Super Metroid at this point, so...
No. I just thought I could cheese it. No, but no. He said fuck you.
I find it interesting that Metroid of, like, you know, the staples of, like, Nintendo franchises are, like, whatchamacallit. Metroid is the one that doesn't really get as much attention.
Nope.
I mean,
But
it's like it's very
but
iconic.
To be honest, it's like Zelda in a sense. It's while the games are rare, they're so beloved.
I feel like part of the issue, though, with Metroid is that, again, because it only really appeals mostly to a Western demographic. Like, Metroid Prime 1 sold, like... I know it got into the millions, because it hit Player's Choice pretty quickly. But in Japan,
it hit Player's Choice, I think, then it's like first year.
Yeah,
It was ridiculous.
But the thing about the game only sold... It was some... I know it was a little over 100,000 copies at the very least, but it didn't sell... It wasn't a smash hit in Japan.
Nope.
Meanwhile, Super Metroid sold in, like, I don't know, like 700,000 in Japan. So I think.
But nowadays, it's becoming more popular. But when being like released,
it still sells the best over here.
Well, that's because we love the idea of space adventure. While
it's just kind of a different culture / different demographic thing.
And I'm gonna be honest. Who was most American boys' first game? I'm gonna be honest.
No, Jordan, you asked that, and that's honestly a very good question.
Yeah, mine was Samus. Because I thought she was just such a badass that...
Yeah, by the way, because in case, this probably should have been mentioned way earlier, but, it's not really a spoiler nowadays that Samus is a woman. But, I mean, back in the day, people were like, holy shit, Samus is a woman!
She's got boobs!
Although in Other M, it's painfully fucking obvious when you look at that design for the power suit. I'll be honest, artistically...
She just seems too feminine in Other M. Like
the suit design
style.
looks... Honestly, my main issue with the power suit in Other M is that it looks relatively frail in comparison to the power suit as it's
too
depicted.
shiny.
That's one kind of the thing. Is that I feel like it looks a bit too sleek for what it's trying to do because.
But this looks like it's built for war.
This looks like it's built to get shit done. The Other M version looks like it's just supposed to be nice and clean. That and another
cosmetic.
thing. Yeah, cosmetic, exactly. Because the power suit in that game, that's exactly what it is. It has the round shoulder pads, but that's not the Various suit. Because that suit in Other M doesn't have like the suit differences. They're just called functions.
Chozo artifact.
Here's an artifact. Because why the fuck not?
It's gonna be such a big staple. Like, people are gonna develop a "cause why the fuck not" counter in the comment section and be like, oh, these guys have said this many times in this playthrough.
Yeah.
They're gonna say it this many more times during Metroid Prime 2.
Because another thing, but kind of going back to Other M suit design, like the gravity suit is a gravity function, and the main reason why is because the director thought Samus looked weird in purple. I shit you not. That's why there's not a gravity suit and it's a gravity function. Same with the Varna.
When I heard that, my heart.
Because like this,
my heart couldn't take it.
This guy was a director on Super Metroid, and he was like, Samus looks weird in purple.
And you're just, I mean, I hope you know, when I first discovered the gravity suit in Super Metroid, I'm like, it's purple! This thing looks badass! Simply because I got really tired of orange, but also because it works?
It also, because you can get away with the color differential at that point as well.
And and to be honest with how big of a Metroid nut I am, Cole designs shirts every year. Me and our group of friends go to MagFest every year. I actually got drawn in the Phazon suit last year.
Mm-hmm. As per request.
Yes. Because he's like, what do you want? Varia? Gravity? No.
Phazon.
Phazon.
Which we'll be seeing in this game later down the road.
And you're going to be surprised on how we get it.
I heard it was actually a last-minute inclusion.
It is. But,
it still
dear
looks
mother
badass.
God, they made sure it was the most badass suit design.
We got a badass over here.
I'm going to say, I always look forward to getting new suits. The only time I never did was Metroid Prime 1. It's just another upgrade.
Yeah, because it's the same issue that Other M kind of had, is that it's not really a suit, it's just a suit upgrade.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's one thing, is that Other M's suit was a little try-hard in that sense, because it's the standard power suit, but it's, the iconic look for Samus is the Various suit with the round shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it is...
Now, artistically, it's not a bad design. I just feel like it doesn't convey Samus' character as effectively.
Like, I mean, if you have never played Metroid a day in your life and you saw that, you're like, man, this looks pretty good. And even for a Metroid fan, it still looks nice. It just doesn't fit.
It still screams Samus, but I feel like it doesn't represent Samus as well.
Well, Samus is a masculine woman. I mean, we're not... she prefers to do things her way or the highway.
The power suit does help, but I mean, she actually does have some muscle mass underneath that suit.
Yeah, she's incredibly athletic. She could win every Olympic. Oh, track and field, fuck you.
Speed booster, bitch. Like, she just need to get out of the power suit.
Oh, man. I never thought of it that way.
You know what?
I'm just thinking her as just being
well,
an
probably
athletic
naturally she
woman.
probably is a fast runner, but I mean,
She's weighed down by like a ton suit.
and the thing is, the suit, you know, probably it does have a sort of exoskeleton to it.
The suit is kind of advertised as a second skin.
Yeah, which honestly makes sense with how it's kind of conveyed, because Samus does have a mental link with it, which I think Other M actually did.
Botches!
Well, it did some. There was an interesting interpretation of it, but I still thought it was weird that the suit was described as like some sort of projection of the Zero suit. I always found that kind of weird.
That she can just. I mean, she's always been able to summon it at will.
I mean, I don't have a
But-
problem with that. I just
but-
find it odd how Other M handled it.
Yeah.
Not bad, not. I just
not
found
bad,
it-
but not good.
I wouldn't say it depends on your interpretation at the point. I just find it personally. I
Off-putting.
find it odd.
I put it.
Like it wouldn't be my
label
first choice.
I
with how
label
they
it as
describe
off-putting because I got so used to her being a masculine woman, and all of a sudden, you know, she's kind of frail. Relies on, you know, when she relies on others, I'm just like, that's not the Samus
I feel like that's. I feel like
love.
this Other M's issue in a nutshell is the writing is just completely
Well, you.
shit.
Okay. I'm not gonna hate on any game company, no matter what.
Now here's the thing: is that it's not always a company's fault. There's always going to be at least one thing where they maybe experiment too far, or just maybe.
And you know, I mean,
because they know when they fucked up
Well-
on a game. Like a company does know when they make a bad game.
and they do know that they fucked it.
But the thing is that, and that's another thing. Even if it's not a bad game, they know where they fucked up. And as a matter of fact, because you know people are.
I mean,
their own worst
I
critics.
think Metroid is officially back with retro.
I think, from
they're
what I've
like,
heard.
oh, what company made good Metroid games? Oh, well, pure Nintendo.
No, I didn't
And
get
then-
to Metroid until, you know, after, you know, Other M was around for a bit. But I did find it odd looking into the history of Metroid that they thought Team Ninja was a movie for the series. And I mean,
And not to be honest, I mean, they've made some
they
pretty
did
good
make
games.
some good games. I just find it, that wouldn't be my first choice for Metroid. You know what I mean?
No.
Because I mean, I feel like a way I would put it, that's like if you put. Are your batteries dying in the Wavebird?
For some reason, that's being-
It's like if you had.
well, it's like giving
What?
good old Philips CDI.
You know, actually, no. That's a perfect example. It's like if you give, it's like when you gave the rights to make Mario and Zelda games to, you know,
Meet this fucker.
Hello, this fucker.
This thing could actually kill me.
New creature entry: She-Goth, Supreme Predator of the Phandrana Drifts.
Yes, and let's hint on Supreme.
You need to, what? Are you considering your life choices at the moment? Are your batteries dying? Alright, well, do you want to try and save after this and call it a session? Yeah, that's one reason why you don't bring a Wavebird controller to, say, a Super Smash Bros. Tournament. Batteries. Good thing you have some on standby.
Jordan becomes prepared,
Yes.
I think.
So, but yeah, pretty much like I was saying, I just feel like some developers who are more experienced with certain genres, I feel like feel free to experiment, but I think that some developers have more of a fit with certain genres than others, and I feel like that just goes with like a lot of artists or artistic visions in general.
All right, so hopefully we're good.
Okay. And then the She-Goth rips the batteries out of the controller through the fourth dimension.
What the fuck?
Is it not registering? Okay. So, while we're... Wait, are you serious? It has no idea what's going on. Now, one thing I will say I do...
Oh, Jesus fuck.
What? What happened?
I'm scared.
You're not scared, you're Samus Aran. Around this time, I would say use an energy tank, but you don't. Well, but you don't have them in the sense that Mega Man does.
No reserve tanks in this game.
Ooh, the wave beam.
Oh, it's working again.
Now
perfectly.
now I can shoot through walls. You only use it to shoot through select walls, right?
Correct.
Like, it's mainly just a means to flip certain switches.
Correct.
That's what I figured.
Oh, it gave me one.
Awesome. Because I did see a Let's Play of this game a while back, so I'm familiar with certain aspects. But, this is the first time I'm experiencing this game
Live.
Yeah. Oh, I see. And you need the wave beam to open the purple doors. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
That's what I really like about the Metroid Prime games, is they gave the beams a little more
Little
character,
more-
I would say, because, they're not only used for killing enemies or openings.
They have a bit more utility.
Yeah. Oh, I need this to do this.
Yeah. Which, honestly, if you're going to give me any sort of power-up, I would prefer, it have some use. Like, I love how you waited for that thing to get in point blank. Also, I like the way the wave beam looks in 3D. I can't go through doors. Adam didn't authorize it.
Fuck you. Oh, God damn it.
Oh, I'm assuming you need the wave beam to destroy those enemies? Because they're purple?
No. They're electrical made enemies.
I noticed they were interfering with your body.
Yeah. So the way to kill them is to override them.
Interesting.
With the
They kind of look like those little
electricity.
nucleus things from the wreck ship in Super Metroid.
That's always what I was reminded of. Oh shit.
I was about to ask if cold water did anything to you, but I doubt it. I would imagine this suit has some sort of...
This ain't fusion yet.
You know what, when you think about it, Samus is, like... So in Fusion, kind of spoilers, but since she's part Metroid, and she's also part Chozo...
She is the ultimate!
Yeah, literally the ultimate, because it's like, well, let's see, I'm not only part Chozo, but I'm also part of the ultimate beings that they created to... well...
And I love how she says, oh, I owed the baby twice over. I'm like, no, you don't.
Well, are you talking from the sense of Other M, or in Fusion?
She says it, but...
Well, at least in Fusion it makes some fucking sense, because
Oh, yeah.
in Super Metroid, the baby saved her ass. And then in Metroid Fusion, it was actually the DNA of the baby that allowed her to, allowed the scientists to get the X out of her system. Although for some reason they couldn't seem to correlate by that point. It seems that the Metroids are the natural predator for
Yeah.
the X.
Yeah, someone found a cure, thank fucking God.
Something just occurred to me in another Metroid 2 remake. Well,
Go right ahead.
I'm trying to think here, because it's shown in Metroid Fusion's opening that X-Parasite copies of, SR-388's wildlife do exist. But my question is, how come, we don't see any in Metroid 2. Well, for obvious reasons, we don't see them in Metroid 2. But in another Metroid 2 remake, there's not even any sort of mention. And, there's not even any sort of, reference that they might be a thing.
I think what they're trying to go for is, the X kind of came to be once the Metroids were eradicated.
Or, maybe they just kind of propagated again after the Metroids
Yeah,
were
they went into,
eradicated. They kind of went into hiding, in a sense.
Yeah. Which makes sense to me. That's how I put it.
Because they do have some capacity for thought.
Yeah, they're incredibly intelligent.
Despite being, little amoebas.
Kind of scare the shit out of you, too.
Okay, so question. Do the missiles, slightly home in on targets in this game?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I figured. Because I noticed you pointed one direction, and then the missile was kind of like, wait, I need to go this way. Whoop.
Oh, yeah. See? Beam cannot be opened.
Gotcha.
So,
And
yeah.
the beams do not stack. That's interesting.
Which I think works for this game.
Yeah, because each beam is its own utility.
Yep. Allowing completely versatile samples, too. Because you can find multiple ways of killing things.
Yeah. So with the little hand symbols that are going on over there in the corner, if I recall, isn't there a way where you can actually, isn't there an X-ray visor or something where you see her hand in the cannons, and it actually does mimic those hand symbols that are shown on the beam selection?
Yep, it does.
See, I love little details like that.
And, well, because it's basically, her fingers are kind of rapid fire.
Yeah.
With this, it's concentrate the energy.
Yeah, I do like the idea that she does change like the position of her fingers in the arm cannon to switch beams, because honestly,
Because her arm cannon changes when she switches beams.
yeah, and it makes sense that it's based on there's some control in the cannon itself, just for the sake of convenience.
Poor motherfucker had the badass item, another M, and have to wait for it to fucking charge, and Samus can just fire plasma beams all goddamn
You know what?
day.
If I recall another M, didn't they say that the Galactic Federation's weapons were actually based on her ice beam?
Yeah, but they're inferior.
Well, of course they're inferior. The Galactic Federation in that game didn't know how to do jack shit. Meanwhile, in Prime 2 and 3, they actually were like,
Yeah,
well,
like they actually had
authorized.
intelligence.
Yeah, we're authorized to be competent today.
Yeah, Adam's not alive. Or Adam is in charge.
I like how it looked like Samus was actually holding all sides of that tube before she turned into the morph ball.
Yep.
Like, okay, now I need to time this just right so I fall in. I do like that there's the low visibility when you're underwater. It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like goggles. It's hard to see on.
Well, it's easier to see with goggles than if you didn't have any goggles to begin
Well,
with.
what I'm saying is that even with it, your vision is still
It's still
foggy.
it's still gonna be impaired.
Yeah,
Fun fact:
I
if you
mean-
go down to due to pressure and shit like that, if you go down deep enough underwater with goggles on, the pressure will actually suck your eyeballs out of their sockets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you go deep enough underwater, the pressure, because the air pressure differential, it will suck your eyes out of their sockets. So that's why, goggles and shit, that's why you have pressurized suits when you're in, deep sea diving. So that way, you don't have your eyeballs sucked out of your eye sockets, which sounds incredibly painful.
I'm gonna say that there's probably a worse than death.
Well,
Just go get a
there probably would be.
urethral swab.
Well, God damn. Well, actually, I don't know. I'd imagine there would be some bleeding associated with your eyeballs being pulled out of their sockets.